The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And welcome all to a beautiful day at TFNN. It is November 4th, and it's just starting to get some cool weather down at the headquarters of Technical Trading and Investing, TFNN.com. And as always, having a nice day out here. On this day in 1979, hundreds of Iranian students stormed the U.S. Embassy and took more than 60 American hostages. Of course, they made a movie of, hang on a second, made a movie of the ones that weren't hostages at the time getting out. But kind of an interesting time in American history. We had arguably maybe the worst president in the last 100 years, at least a decent recorded history. He was weak and focused on, they called him the macro manager. He focused on so many tiny things that he never got anything big done. And he kind of walked away from those that would at least would not be our friends or would be our friends after the fall of Iran and the Shah. Probably not a great guy to be friends with, but 30 years later, they're ready to build a nuclear bomb and kill all the Jews. But what can you say? Inaction, as much as action, has consequences, and we see that yet today. And what happens in America when I think you have a weak president, or at least what the world believes, and the worst of the world believes, and they will try to exploit that weakness in the United States. But kind of hard to think that 20, 30, 33 years ago on this day. We have other things going on. I wanted to take a quick look at the markets before we get started. Hang on just a second. Somehow I was able to log myself off of my quote system here before we started. Up 4 points on the S&P cash with just under 2 billion shares. Today is the last day of fund buying, and we'll get to that in just a few minutes after we get to the news and what's really going on. So just give us a minute here. And, of course, if you got up real early yesterday morning on the East Coast, you had something kind of interesting.
Mama told me not to look into the eyes of the sun, but Mama, that's where the fun is.
And another interesting day out here. We had a solar eclipse for those people yesterday morning, and of course I got up early, about 6:30, and went out and stood on the top of the roof and saw it all of about 2 minutes. So it's going to be interesting nonetheless. But we did have probably about 2 or 3 minutes of an eclipse. I don't know if it's significant or not. Supposedly you could see it as far as eastern Kentucky and eastern Tennessee, but I don't know. I had a tough time seeing it at all. So what can you say? But it is where the fun is. If you're watching on Tiger TV or in the den now, I've got a chart. Kind of an interesting chart. Kind of looks like a tooth there, doesn't it? Maybe a clip. And what can you say? Man, it is a chart of Apple's earnings growth by quarter, and it's smoothed out so you don't see a lot of sharp peaks. But this chart goes back to 2007. And the question is just how tough it is. We were talking about the law of large numbers last year, and how tough it is to actually get, how can I say this, to continue to grow at 20%. Eventually, you run into that problem where you're doing $500 billion and now you got to do $1 trillion. It just becomes very tough. So when people are talking a lot about Apple, it's up $2 now. It's about $5.22. This thing has fallen totally out of volume since $5.13, where it has still failed to break higher on decent volume. Of course, I have a feeling we've got a little bit of the Santa Claus rally, at least in Apple, with the new products out here. But we're going to keep an eye on it. But interesting chart nonetheless. You can check it out at splatf.com. But the guy that did this on his blog was not so much interested in the stock market, but the excitement surrounding Apple products. And his thesis is that it's going to be tougher and tougher for them to go back and relight the magic on existing products anytime soon. So we'll keep an eye on that. Thorsten Hines III. Every time I think of this guy, all I can think of is Gilligan's Island. Thurston Howell III. Remember him? This is Thorsten Hines III. No longer a CEO of BlackBerry. That stock down very sharply today, down what is about $1.60. It is just what what I was thinking would happen, and that is that they had kind of a bogus offer. The whole thing was to keep the price of the stock up above $10 as long as possible and distribute it everywhere that they can. And again, getting rid of this CEO and putting in the other CEO, I don't know if it's going to make a whole lot of difference. The new CEO certainly is and has a lot more experience than this CEO has. Thurston Hines III. When they hired him, it's kind of interesting because he was literally the only person they could get to take the job. No one wanted to captain the Titanic after it had had a big hole open down the side of it. And he was looking at a contract where if he could have sold the thing, he would have gotten about $57 million. So we can probably assume he did everything in the world to get somebody to come along and buy BlackBerry. But not going to do much out here. The guy that is replacing him is on several boards, well known in the industry. I'm trying to remember his name right now. I've seen him before. He's been in these things, and they're going to continue to do it. But the end of this was that, for the most part, they just aren't going to be able to. They're just not going to be able to sell this thing. It's going to go in pieces and parts at the end, pretty much like I said it would. For a year and a half, I've been saying that there's nothing here for BlackBerry. They can't sell their patents until they go bankrupt. At that point, they're going to go to the bondholders, and maybe buying BlackBerry bonds when they do go bankrupt will be interesting. Maybe they find a buyer out there for $1 million or $2 million. But my guess is this thing is going well under $5 in the next few days out here. And of course, it's so short you couldn't get shares to short it if you wanted to. What else do we have going on? Realogy, real estate broker, Realogy, RLGY, returned to a profit. Always interested in the housing stocks. Their brands include Century 21 and Coldwell Banker. But a nice beat out there, up about $3 today. You might take a look at RLGY. Let's see. What do we have? IBM is joining the trolls. IBM is suing Twitter. And you would think that patents would be a little bit more specific, but here's the patent that they're suing Twitter on: a system, method, or computer program product for providing links to remotely located information in a network of remotely connected computers. Another one describes a common contact identification system. Like most of these patents, probably not worth a great deal other than as a club to extort money out of other people. IBM has some decent patents. These aren't any of them. It's kind of interesting to see that IBM is going after Twitter, previous to their IPO. This came out in a new filing on Friday, but most people don't think that it has a lot to do. I think it says more about IBM and them going after people for what could be, what could you say, just spurious lawsuits. But maybe they're not feeling happy, and they're going to make everybody else not feel happy either. And, if you want the deal of the day, it is Amazon. If anybody was thinking about buying tablets for Christmas presents, today is the day to do it. Because of the FAA filing and change to using Wi-Fi devices on their airplane, Amazon is taking 15% off all its Kindle Fire HDs, its new HDX7, and even the Kindle e-readers that are $69. So as long as you put in the promo code THNKSFAA, not just thanks FAA without the A, you'll get that 15% off. But you're talking about a tablet for $140 minus 15%. They certainly are all over it. And as one of the guys in the office said, Amazon certainly doesn't like making money, do they? They like giving stuff away if they can. And certainly I think if you are looking for a tablet today, buying Christmas presents and tablets for just a little over $100, probably not a bad deal. Other things we have, that's the wonderful little sign on that thing. So we will continue taking a look. But save 15% on Kindle and even the HDX7. New hard drives are here. I actually got a email that was asking me about a few things. This was one. Today they are starting to ship helium infused hard drives. And if anybody's ever bought a hard drive and taken it apart, there are little recording and writing heads that float over what are just regular disks. Those disks rely on air pressure to float over the surface. So as the drive starts to spin, it makes a little bit of wind, and the actual recording heads are made like little wings so that they ride just above the surface. If you bang them, you can get enough energy into a hard drive to get that head to hit the surface and remove the recording media. But what they found out is helium drives, instead of just shipping them with regular air, dried out air, but regular air, regular pressure, they are putting helium in. Helium is about 1/7 of the resistance. The drives will run about 5 degrees cooler than the standard 7,200 RPM drives, and because of that, they can run on 30% less power. Some of these drives, they're now having 5 terabyte drives with less platters, but the next revolution in drives, we're done.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we were talking about those drives when we broke for the last segment, but we're still probably going to see a great deal more drives sold. In the beginning, these drives will get a bit of a premium, but over the long time, I think we're going to start seeing drives that are probably going to be big enough that they're going to cut into the volume of the drives that are being sold. But right now, especially Western Digital, Seagate, they're not looking at the consumer market too much. They are looking at this big system where they can sell 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 drives, and probably their biggest customer right now is probably the NSA. But if you can cut down how many drives you want to, you can put and have to cool 4 or 5 degrees cooler at the same speed, probably not too bad, and especially because there is, you'd be surprised how much wind resistance there is inside the drive by putting that helium in there. Well, just a world. It's taken them 10 years, so it's not like these guys didn't want to do it for a long time, but kind of interesting that they are finally shipping after about 10 years of trial and error and trying to figure out how to seal a hard drive so it will always hold the nitrogen, or excuse me, the helium inside. DRAM pricing, another thing that we're getting from my mail box today, and of course you can always give me a email at path@tfnn.com. If you don't, give me a call at 877-927-6648.
You got mail, baby, yeah.
Yeah, I do hear it there. I got something going on. I'm not exactly sure what it is. But yeah, we got mail. The question was whether or not the rally in the DRAM makers like SanDisk, like Micron, is over. And the whole thing happened because, of course, a company went out of business. And then we also had one other thing, and that was early in September. There was a blaze, a plant that caught on fire in China. So not only did we earlier have a company go out of business, which reduced supply, we also had this factory burned down in China that did it. And they're going to have the whole thing rebuilt. Those Chinese don't let any grass grow under their feet. It's going to be rebuilt. It was supposed to be rebuilt about this month. We've seen some of those other memory chip makers today pop one more time on the news that the Hynix plant is still not going to be done, and maybe be into December, and maybe even to the first quarter before it can come back online. So we might see just one more quarter of decent earnings out of those companies, and then I suspect we probably have a fairly decent long-term top in the memory companies. Now, this would be different if it was like Intel and they built a specific chip. But it's not. These guys build memory chips. They all have to be built to a spec that all the memory chip makers agree on. They're all pretty much the same. It is a commodity business. And if you wanted to look at this as coal or wheat or anything else, it's not any different. The only difference is that they're making chips that have to work, but it is a commodity, and they can make chips that work a little faster, a little slower, so they can alter the mix, probably like coffee and being able to buy Arabica or those other kinds of beans. You can vary the mix, but for the most part, that's all you can do. You're not making a chip that no one else in the industry can build. And as we look at Seagate and Western Digital, those guys probably also have are getting close to probably putting in some long-term high. As the same thing pretty much exists. They both have alternate strategies, but eventually the supply will overwhelm the demand, and we'll probably see much lower prices in the near future on memory and on hard drives. So, hard to say. Yeah, IMAX. But yeah, I don't think it. In fact, on my board here, they are boosting output of the memory they make more of at that factory. But probably not going to change a lot of other things. Anyway, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can't use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, check in with the, let's see, okay. Check in with the markets and see how we're doing. Up pretty much the same, up just a hair under 5 points on the S&P cash, and we are 1766, 2.1 billion shares again, fairly light volume. Of course, the thing we really need to be checking at right now is pretty much the advanced decline line. And let's take a quick look at that and see what we've got. It's a little better than I thought it might be at this time. On the New York Stock Exchange, 63% to 34%. So still one of those days where the up volume is considerably higher than the down volume. But certainly not a lot of juice into these markets at these highs. SAC agreement with the Justice Department. If we were talking about, or if we were looking at news today, basically the SAC, a big hedge fund, was deeply embroiled in the what was known as the expert system, and that is they would hire people to act as employers or potential employers. They would hire private detectives. They would hire people to at least it's alleged, I think, to look at their phones, maybe hack them. I'm not exactly sure how far and how deep it went. It hadn't gone to court, so we haven't seen the documents yet. This expert system was ways of finding out inside information that no one else in the markets had. And this goes back to Elan, the pharmaceutical manufacturers, Intel, Advanced Micro Devices, Yahoo, BlackBerry. They basically knew a week or 10 days before exactly what was going on with these companies before they were reporting and able to make a huge amount of money. The guy that runs the show at SAC is worth about $9 billion. Even with what's not going on today. He was one of the most successful hedge funds, but he did it the old-fashioned way, which is inside information. Now, everybody apparently in this company, at least on the trader level and lower, knew all about this, was deeply involved in it. There are a ton of these guys. A few of them are probably going to go to jail. A lot of them are going to get barred from being in the markets for a long time. Certainly the CEO is going to be barred, but he can trade his own $9 billion. And apparently he's got a knack, or at least has a decent knack. He can hire people to help him trade his own money. Doesn't kind of almost like Icon, won't need it. The question is whether or not he will ever be brought up on charges. And it looks kind of like the mob out here, where they could actually figure out a way to layer enough levels of management in between him and these traders that they can't prove that it went all the way up. The other thing is, if they can just run out the clock before the statute of limitations run out, they may not be able to get it. But $1.8 billion, the company is going to be out of business for all practical purposes. And when you listen to the head of the Justice Department, there is basically no company too big to indict anymore. They're not going to go after just a few individuals in these companies, but they will look at it like the mob, an ongoing criminal conspiracy when they find these companies where it's prevalent, and take the entire company down. And that's at least what's happening here. The head of SAC, the owner, the leader, of course, $9 billion. Even if he has to give up some of that money out of his own coffers, or even gives a fine, he can probably kick this down the road 5, 10, 15 years, and he's not a young man. So I don't know if anything more is going to come of it. But certainly probably 50 people are going to lose the right to be in the business that they've been in. And, of course, I reported it on this, I think, last Tuesday, that it looked like they were lots and lots of people were leaving last Tuesday, and it was probably just a foregone conclusion that this was it. So anyway, we're going to start looking at some other companies out here. We talked a little bit about how market manipulators move markets. We're going to see a little bit more of that, if I'm right. If I can actually type GRPN. GRPN, he said. Groupon had a nice little thing. Oh, we got a caller. It's Don from Dawson in California. How you doing today, Don?
Real good. I just wondered what you thought about the 3D printer companies now, like DDD and the SSYS.
They certainly did make a low in early October, and been going up. What they haven't had is a lot of volume these last few days out here. 3D Systems, let's go back and look at it just a little longer out here. Right now the problem is it's all hype and not enough sales. These companies have come out and missed their earnings estimates and still going higher. That tells me that there's probably a fairly decent sign of a bubble in this market. And, of course, there's going to be some very big players come on midsummer next year. DDD, are you in it right now?
No, I'm not.
I mean, DDD is probably the preeminent company in here. We're going to see HP come out probably with a very big line of products in this industry midsummer next year. And if anybody got the razor marketing principles down, it has to be HP. We just, every week we find someone else piling in. Certainly they are probably the best in the industry. SSYS chart doesn't look quite as good. What were you thinking of doing? Waiting for a pullback to buy?
Yes, I was. I was just wondering how far they might pull back.
I think
it seems like they're a rocket right now.
Yeah, I think that $27 low out here, and maybe even this $21 low. I think these things are way, way, way ahead of any potential earnings that these companies have at the moment. Unfortunately, this is one of these sectors that you can trade as a bubble, but just be aware that it is, I suspect, in a very big bubble. I mean, these things are 50, 100 to 1 price to earnings. And again, if they grow into them, no big deal. I just see too many of these companies out here like Netflix that the price earnings ratio is way in advance of what these companies will probably generate in the next 3 to 5 years. So we need a massive correction, a la the gold market going from $1,900 to $1,200. And I think at that point we're going to get, when we get the fast money crowd out of these, they're going to be great investments again. But I have a feeling we've got that same kind of movement out here that is chasing a lot of quick money. And I think probably, I don't know, the next day or so, we're probably going to see highs and long-term highs in both these companies. So I would, you'd probably want to look real hard back at the $47 level. And if it comes back there with light volume, you might have a chance. But this thing's most likely going to come back first to these days of high volume. And those were all around 43 to $40. And what was that, May 1st, May 10th? See all those candles in there?
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably your first level of support is going to be around in that area. And I think HP is not going to be the only large company getting into this business. I think a lot of other people have sat back and watched. We're going to have a flood of that business coming in next summer. And we're going to probably have a lot of very inexpensive machines and a lot of very expensive plastic that these machines are using. So I right now I'm concentrated in this, at least in the Tech Insider, finding other companies that are going to do well because of this technology. This thing's had an awful good run. I think we bought it. I think I was averaged in at about $17 on this thing when it started. Now that it's up here much higher, it doesn't interest me as much. There's several other companies that are going to probably do well because of this. Plastic manufacturers, specialty software manufacturers. There's a company called Shapeways where you can just send them the file and they'll print you what you want, kind of the equivalent of Kinko's with laser printers in the 80s. So there's probably, why these companies are okay, I think there's probably a lot more money to be made in other avenues in 3D printing right now. I think the easy money's over. Okay, but those two heavy volume candles all the way up to 50 and down to 40 are probably where this thing's going to come back down, and you might have one good trade off that back up to retest the highs that I think we're making now.
Well, thank you very much.
You bet. So what else do we have out here? Wanted to look at IBM because I hadn't had a chance to check them out since they filed the lawsuit against Twitter. This thing's kind of bounced back up off those lows. This thing's been making ABC up. It went back and tried to fill, to some extent, that huge gap down from earnings. Again, everybody just wants to come back and buy IBM no matter what. But this thing has been on a slide since 2011 and has been down. The other thing I wanted to look at is HLF. And let's get this thing. Come on. Herbalife. and let's see. It's got, give me just a second here. Redraw this one thing. See if we got it here. Yeah, okay. It's down a little farther today. I didn't pick up today's tick. HLF. This thing's down. Let's get at HLF just so I know. Giving you the right thing. It's down $1.22 today at 61.92. What do we got? It is. It's probably coming down to these gaps right around 61 and 62. You have a high volume day out here that looks like the top is somewhat into that level of support. Herbalife is 15.6 million shares on the 31st of July. And we're right into that support level now. Of course, we've been watching this thing the last 3 days come down. This has been a war of the titans between Icon and trying to remember the other guy in this that's short. But billion shares, $1 billion worth short, and a couple $1 billion worth long for Icon, and has forced this thing into a short squeeze. The belief is that he's gotten the goods, or more goods, on whether or not Herbalife is actually a pyramid scheme, and at least a few people are sneaking out the door, exit stage left. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. We'll look at a few other stocks out here that are moving of interest. Of course, we talked about the stock du jour, which is BlackBerry. Pretty wicked down day into $6.44. It looks like it's going to attack this range at 622 today. What do we have here for volume? 108 million, 109 million shares. Looks like it's going to blow through that 622 fairly quickly. I was talking about Groupon. Maybe I forgot to say it. GRPN. Same kind of thing today is starting in Groupon. We talked about it, I think Z and the Den called a while ago. And I said, look for this to be almost the exact same duplicate issue that we have with Groupon, which is with RIM or BlackBerry, and that is a huge effort to keep this thing above $10. Of course, this thing was coming down a few days, a bogus BS upgrade in this thing. They're going to continue to try to keep this thing up for probably a few months, try to distribute as much stock as they can, get as much money as they can out of this thing. Today, I think, is just the first shot over the bow about them pushing this company. And look for the same thing. We're going to see the same thing as BBRY, and that is a huge consolidation level at that and trying to keep it above a $10 level. And eventually all the news will peter out. Reality will come back out, and we'll see probably Groupon follow the same path as BlackBerry over time. NVIDIA, Baidu. We'll be back in just a minute. We're going to talk about Baidu. CEO's been out talking a little bit. Be back in just a minute.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And we're back, and you can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. And looking at that BlackBerry, kind of surprised this thing hadn't hit that 622 low from September 24th yet, but my guess is today is early, and we've got a lot more happening before the end of the day. Looking at the volumes again before we leave TFNN for the day, at least I will. You can always be here. Still saying we're right at that 1766 level. We're up just a hair under 5 points on the S&P cash with 2.2 billion shares. Not a lot to really be waiting on. We've gone through the FOMC meeting. We've gone through a lot. Probably going to be moving toward a lot of speculation on how retail stocks are going to be doing for Christmas as we head into Thanksgiving. One of the things I can tell you is that I've been out shopping a lot, probably the last 2 weeks, and there is not much out there moving with the exception of tablets and smartphones. When we walk into places like Staples, very, very, very quiet. When I've walked into the malls, very, very quiet. Nothing really for sale. Everything being set up for a Black Friday sales event. And a lot of people shopping, but not making any purchases. I've talked to a lot of the sales staff and everything else. This looks like they're betting all the marbles on a big sale come that Thanksgiving weekend. And right now, it's just hard to see, especially a lot of these stores that have already been doing extremely weak in the mall, like retail clothing stores, especially for those tweens and young adults. It was like GPS, probably a good indication. And that is, what can you say? Well, I mean, I did GPS. Did I draw? There. Go ahead. This thing's way off its size, the Gap. But just about every other one of those teen retailers that we've been looking at have come back down. Of course, Gap down just a couple of weeks ago on a fairly decent volume. And I think this is just a sign of a lot of these retailers. In fact, I've been reading a lot of the inside retailing magazines, and most of them are very, very concerned with JCPenney. They think JCPenney is planning on going out of business, and for Christmas, they're going to blow out all the products that they can at a severe margin or deficit. And it's going to be very hard for anybody to actually compete against them. This thing got down to a low of $6.24. And again, once these things stay down for 3 months under $10, these funds are going to have to blow them out. I think that they're at least going to try to buy back market share for Christmas, and most of the people in the mall are scared to death about what could happen. So JCPenney doesn't necessarily have to go out of business on this, but it could be a deal where they just get fiercely competitive like Amazon and start running a lot of other people out and gaining market share back at the expense of other retailers actually making money. Since this plan has come up off the low at 624, about 10 trading days ago, October 22nd. It's been moving slightly up, but my guess is that we're going to get right into a heavy resistance level, probably starting here and maybe just maybe another 50 cents or $1 higher in JCPenney. But right now, of the stocks that I wouldn't want to be in, I wouldn't want to be in REITs, and I wouldn't want to be in retail consumer products. Anyway, you all have a great and safe and wonderful day. And we'll be back tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Basil Chapman has just announced that he will be hosting a one-day online master trader class. Friday, November 8th, Basil Chapman will teach you the essential fundamentals he uses when trading the market with his Chapman Wave methodology. Included in this full-day online master trader class is 1 month of Basil's daily newsletter service, The Opening Call, a $128 value, as well as a copy of his CD book introducing the Chapman Wave methodology, which usually sells for $249. Join Basil Chapman for this powerful one-day online master trader class Friday, November 8th, which will be archived if you can't attend live, where he'll give you a complete understanding of the Chapman Wave methodology and how to apply it to profitably trade any market in any time frame. For all the details and to reserve your spot while taking advantage of early bird pricing and saving $200 off the regular price, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.